Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. Hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the white pieces against a 1954 from Iraq. Let's go for a Grand Prix. It's something I've been studying a bit more recently. D6. We still go F4. Yeah, I think this is pretty mainline stuff. Anyway, I wanted to quickly talk about this as well. I think we do go bishop c5, or do we go e5? I don't think we go e5. I think you go e5 if they've played an e6. So we'll go bishop b5. Tomorrow's video and Sunday's video will be a bit different because I'm playing in a tournament over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday I'm playing in a tournament which is going to be eventful. I think definitely see we'll trade the knight off here and we'll go for a castles, and this is pretty mainline Grand Prix style stuff as far as I'm aware. They're unlikely to castle queenside, so we'll go for a queen e1. I think is reasonable. Looking for a queen h5, f5 idea. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. We can think about getting the knight in, but that's blocking the queen. Anyway, at a tournament this weekend, which is going to be boatloads of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Just real quick, I can't go to queen h4 because of knight takes. Right. So do you just go f4 then? You go f4 then, maybe even knight d5. I don't want to push things too early, that's the thing. We can go knight g5, right? We can go knight g5. I think that's the thing. So tomorrow and Sunday's video are going to be game recaps of everything that's happened over the tournament so far, which should be interesting at least. We can think about a queen h4 here, but knight takes is still a problem. Is it? No, I don't think it is, because knight takes. Bishop takes, pawn takes. They still can't do anything. Castles is a bit of a problem. Castles we can think about going f5, but that's risky. That's very risky. Let's just drop this knight back. Yeah, let's just drop this knight back. Then do an e5. Do an e5. I think is a good move. So we're going to be doing just game reviews, basically, from the tournament. I've got 3 games on Saturday, which is a lot of games. I think they're an hour 20 minutes each, with a 10-second increment, which is not the biggest, but it's nothing like rapid either. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking to finish well. I want to do well. It's a hard tournament. I'm in the major category, which I think is under 1850. I think sounds about right. So a lot of really strong players in there, which is great. I mean, it's great to see, but it's going to be a pain to play against. We've got the threat of bishop takes h6 here. I'm feeling quite happy with this position, to be honest. But yeah, I've been practicing a lot. You know, I'm feeling like my chess is getting better. I think I can tell it's getting better, hopefully. So we just need to see if that pays off in a tournament setting, which is realistically the goal of this whole sort of road to master thing. Like, you know, you can't get a master title from playing online. You can technically, but it's not really the same, is it? So we need to be able to do well in tournaments, and this is where it comes from, playing in actual tournaments. So yeah, king h7 is a good move, I think. Stops our threat. And this bishop's still really annoying, cutting off a lot of our play. How do we continue? We can think about bishop e3. Going after this. We could think about the knight coming in, but where is it going? They've always got like a rook g8. So it might be time to slow down our kingside play here. Might be time to slow down our kingside play. Yeah. Where do we go? Where do we go? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm a bit lost. Bishop e3 seems like the reasonable bet. But then you're sort of cutting off your rook a bit, I feel, which isn't ideal. Let's go for it. And then we can start to do like a queen f2 maybe and hit this pawn after a knight somewhere. I'm not quite sure, but this bishop's quite strong as well, which potentially could be a problem. Maybe we broke in the center in the wrong place or the wrong time. I still don't feel like the position's bad, though. It's just a lot more even than I would have liked it to be. We still do have bishop takes as a potential threat. I don't know. I don't think it goes anywhere. We have like a h3, queen h3, with like a knight there, but bishop takes, queen takes doesn't quite work just yet. And I don't really think we're getting anywhere from that check either. That doesn't seem like the right move. It seems like you've made a very weak c-pawn there. And I'm happy about that. We'll go rook d1, potentially even look to push here, and push again even. And push e6 even, I would go as far as to say. They add another attacker onto that, but they don't need to. Now we're threatening to push d6 even as well. Push, takes, knight takes. We could even go h3 now, but I think I do like this d4 plan. With the threat of the fork on the queen and the bishop, eventually they decide not to go for it, which is fair enough. We'll go with the knight, try take out their bishop pair, I think is a good idea. And it frees up this rook potentially for some future shenanigans, which I very much appreciate. Bishop goes back. We can do takes. Takes is insane, right? To be fair, it works. Not quite. They allow us to take the bishop. I think we have to take that, right? I think we have to take that. We can't miss out on taking the free bishop. Not free bit. Get rid of the bishop pair, sorry. We can't not. With the claim on the open file as well, I think it's necessary. We've got to watch out for b4. We do have to watch out for b4. Yeah. Okay, we'll play a3. I didn't really want to play a3, but I think we have to. You go there? That doesn't seem right. We have takes. Bishop takes with check is annoying. We have queen f3. Bishop takes, queen takes. Bishop f3, knight take. Queen f3, knight takes. So we just take this. We're playing with the isolated pawn. Playing with the isolated pawn, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game. Knight takes rook d6 seems good. Seems really good, actually. Then rook d1. Yeah. And if queen takes... then we lose a pawn. We lose a pawn. That's fine, though. That's fine, though, right? We'll go... We'll go queen f2. We'll go queen f2. At least we're making a vague threat there. Knight takes, we can think about d6. We can think about d6, knight there. Then takes. Knight takes rook up. Let's get this knight in the game. I think would be struggling to play without getting this knight in the game. And this rook's covering this, which I think is important. This knight doesn't have major threats. It can go there. Decides not to go there. Okay. Fairs. Let's go for a b3 then. Let's go for a b3. If they push this, I don't particularly like that for them. They offer the trade of rooks. I think we just double up the rooks and play a pawn down endgame, to be honest. I think that might be the best way. I feel like our knight has more activity, which can only be a good thing, right? We go knight there. Oh, you go there. Okay, well, I'll play a h4. They can't really do much. I really want this, but the pin's annoying, so I want to wait till the king moves. See if I can get the check afterwards. I like my king to come up and kick this knight out. If they defend with f6, then they've made a weakness on e6. Which can only be a good thing, really. Okay, we'll get the king up. We have to, right? You can't not get the king up in an endgame. f5 is an interesting idea. Kicking the knight away? I guess not. Guess not. They are fully going for it. I respect it, to be fair. I respect it. Okay. Yeah. That's a move I didn't particularly want to play. I think I'm running out of ideas. Very slowly running out of ideas. This is an annoying threat with the fork there. I'm going to have to go king f4. King f4, rook d1, takes, king takes. It's not looking nice. We go there and win a pawn at least. With the fork on these two pawns. Is a reasonable idea. 58 minutes left. 58 minutes? Oh, I wish. 58 seconds. Pawn there's a good move. That's why we need the king up to f4 instead of playing g4. No, we need g4 anyway. No, they just play this now. I think they're good. Yeah, unfortunately, I think they're good. Knight back there, pawn there. Go that way round. They go there. The same difference, I think. Same difference. Okay, well, we'll go up. We'll go up, might as well. It gets us out of this yucky stuff. And we're attacking their majority, which I think is a good idea. They go there. That can't be right. That can't be right. Push, takes. Then knight back, and we've got a few holes to infiltrate on. But we can't go there. That's the problem. Okay, well... yeah, this is awkward. This is very awkward. We'll go there. No, pawn takes is the only move in that situation. You go there. I go there, I guess. Hitting the what you call it? The rook. Threatening to take as well, actually. Is that winning? Surely not. I'm just up a piece there. Holy moly. How did that happen? I don't know. That's insane. Wow. Okay, well, I win another pawn as well. I won't win the pawn. I'm just going to... I can push C at any point. And I'll sack the knight for one of these pawns. This could potentially be drawn. It depends how they play it, I think. Check and we go up. If not, we take the pawn. We'll go there. I think we've got this. This is insane. We go there. No, well, we run out of time there. No. Oh, no. I thought we had barrels of time. Oh, where did that come from? I really wanted to be accurate there as well. Yeah. I think we probably just trade the queens off and draw, right? No, we win that. Surely? Takes. King there. Takes. Takes. King takes. King there. 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 Up. King there. 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 Yeah, we win that as well. Oh, that's brutal. To come back from that, though, that's insane. That's really insane. I'm proud of that one, to be fair. I think we win that. No, apparently we draw it at the end. Ooh, wow. Okay, I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. Yeah, 81.4 versus 84.6, 2100 versus 2200. So they had a higher accuracy than us. We played the Grand Prix. Again, still learning this. It's quite complicated. Apparently E5 is a move here, which doesn't seem right because knight takes. Then but you get this at the end. Oh, because you've not played D3, there's no check at the end. Okay, Fez. A6, yeah, and we just take the knight. Apparently the way is to drop back, but this is fine. Castles. Queen E1. Usual plan in the Grand Prix to get to H4, which is a really nice attacking square with just everything working together. We drop back. H5, H6 is played. I thought this potentially gave us a bit of a hook to maybe sacrifice at some point, which there were some threats of, and then we push E5. Not the best move, but it's definitely not a bad move, I don't think. And then we're sort of lost here, to be honest. We ended up pushing D4. Apparently a mistake. The move is to play knight there, which doesn't look natural at all. Bishop takes for for one, you know. You're giving up the bishop pair, but for double isolated pawns, which are going to be so weak. I don't see how white wins this ever. You know, I think d4, the computer disagrees, but apparently playable, and it wants bishop there. I'm guessing because you've got nothing to counteract the light squares, you've got no f3 to protect yourself. The light squared weaknesses are just going to be too much in the end, I guess, is the point. We trade off the light squares, though, which makes everything better. Apparently you can sack here. What? Apparently that's playable. That looks vile. I hate that. I really... Oh, because you win the knight at the end. That's insane. So what about king takes? King takes check. There. And then you go for this? Wow. So you're literally just going for this knight. Not even go for the knight. You go for the perpetual. Wow. That's insane. That's really insane. Wow. Trade off the bishops. And then the play is rook f2. I didn't like that. I thought the pin, like, you can't really get rid of the pin without moving your king. I didn't think it looked nice. And if you move your king to f2, there's breaks here with the discovered sort of attack with the pin as well. It didn't look particularly nice to me. Queen trade, and we go down a pawn here. Not ideal, but with the rooks and the knight, they are so tricky. I think it's like reasonable. You know, it's not winning at all. You'll never win this. But there's definitely drawing chances, especially if your opponent doesn't play it right. They would have to be super accurate here. And I think as well, another bonus for us is that our king's on the majority side. So it's such a good defender. And if things get traded off, we do have the passer on c4 like we saw. Yeah, I didn't want to do this ever because of this. I guess... Oh, you have takes here with check. But you see, like, the pins, it's becoming a potential problem. It doesn't work in this exact situation because you've got the check. But there are potential problems here. You don't have knight back to either of these two squares because of the pawns. With the king covering the rook as well. It just doesn't look nice. So we go back here. And this apparently is a blunder. And we played king d4, which apparently doesn't work. Because of takes. And then pawn takes, potentially. Oh, but then you've got the fork there. So you do rook takes, knight takes. And then pawn takes. Yeah. I mean, you just can't fight these two extra pawns on the king side. You just can't do anything about that. Yeah. And that's just complete winning. Luckily, they went knight check first. Our move apparently is rook there. So then you've got the threat of d4 check after this, which wins the exchange in a nicer way. They can take here, but then pawn takes again. You're up the exchange. Wow, crazy stuff. Luckily, we got the extra piece out of it. I'd say this is winning, but this is so incredibly complicated. You know, these pawns are so fast. And their king's no slouch either. You know, the king's in the center of the board, ready to go either side. So if we try to take these out, they could potentially try to take out these pawns and fight for a draw. Yeah. We should have taken the extra pawn, apparently, which is crazy. And we go here and we make the passer through c4, which is the obvious way, but apparently not the best way. Because it allows these checks, and apparently this is dead drawn. I like this idea, because if they go here, then you have c5 still, I think. Yeah. And if the king takes the knight, like we saw, the pawns are runaway. And if the king goes up for the pawn, then obviously we take this. And then this has got to be winning, right? No. Apparently still drawing. Oh, because you can't defend this pawn. Wow. That's insane. Yeah, so our play was literally just letting them do this with check. That was where we went wrong. It amazes me that this is drawn, to be honest. And we kept giving them checks when they pushed their pawns, which is annoying. I thought this was winning. Maybe I just calculated wrong. I think this, like, I don't see how black draws this, to be honest. Where do they go? They go here. This is a miss. So, I'm so confused. So, there. Drawn. They're drawn. They're drawn. Oh, you go back here? Oh, wow. Yeah. Because you go up and then you go up. Wow, so you have to stay on the back. So we know that a pawn versus a rook pawn versus a king is drawn if the king can get there in time. So the problem is that when we're shouldering black's king out the way, which is what happens if they go forward, they can't get there in time. We'll play this out. We get to b6, and that cuts the king out from ever hitting these. So we're able to push this pawn uninterrupted, basically. But if the king goes to the side here, and we now make a belay to this pawn, then they get to c5. And you see how this king's now trapped? We can play this out as well. Yeah, and you go there, yeah, there. And, yeah, it will end in a draw, which is absolutely insane. And it's not a move I would have thought of. It's not a move I would have thought of, is that going backwards in order to get around the king and outflanking them that way. And the easiest way is to just go king e3 again. But you could try your luck getting the pawn, I guess. But yeah, I wonder what happens if you push the a pawn here. I guess they still go around no matter what. Because they're always one square behind the king. You know, there's nothing that can really be done about it. Yeah, wow, that's insane. My immediate calculation was that they had to go all the way to the pawn, but no, going back and outflanking the king is absolutely insane. And I really, really love that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.